You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Looks, all three of them.
This is Lee. Whiteside sends it back.
Right down the pipe. Muscala rejected by Whiteside.
Back to Tyler for three. Opportunity to reclaim the lead. Whiteside tips it in. And Miami is back in front, 99-98. Ball picked up by Tyler. The lead for the Dragon, the spin, and the slam. 5 seconds left. Lee for the flip. Blocked by Richardson. Loose ball foul with 1.3 to play. To Collins. Blocked by Richardson. The Heat are in the NBA playoffs, and they win their way in.
There you go, baby. Heat are in. Look at Diener over there wearing his Heat basketball shirt.
I'm so excited. I'm pumped today, man. I got this shirt on. I think I've had this shirt for like 8 years, but I don't even care.
Okay.
I'm wearing it today.
Yeah.
It looks like it's 8 years old.
Hey, watch it. I missed you, buddy.
I got to get with it. You know, how many Heat fans have not bought anything Heat-related since LeBron left? Guess say I'm guilty. I
Yeah?
got to get back with it. Yeah, I'm guilty. I don't know what happened.
But it's not worth anything anymore. That's why.
Broke my heart, dude. Broke my heart. It took me a little while, but, you know, I'm back in. I'm back in.
That's right. And
Yeah.
the Heat are back in the playoffs. Let's go.
See, that is such a
go.
quintessential fan.
Oh, you know what, Ricky?
I'm serious. He goes. I didn't buy anything since LeBron left. They made back in now. Oh, looks like I'm gonna buy them.
Yeah. You know what?
Holy Miami Heat fan.
People always they talk about bandwagon fans, all kind of stuff, like it's a bad thing. I'm like, yeah. I you know what? I like to have a winner.
Oh, I mean, I'm
I
with
like
you
to have
on
a winner.
that.
I get more excited. I'm
But I
like,
just
I'm all
can't
in.
stand
I'm
when-
a self-admitted bandwagon kind of guy, man. When they're great, I'm
Yeah.
all in. And when they suck, I'm like, let me know when you're good again.
Yeah, see, I just can't stand when people get mad at you for getting mad at them for being bandwagon fans. Like, you can't say that about us. It's like, dude, you are.
Oh, yeah, no.
Remember when you almost left and then you won the game, and then you can't, and then everybody's trying to get back, and they're we gotta get back.
Yeah,
in.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
you guys bailed.
that was the Ray Allen game.
Yeah, that was a Ray Allen game. Everybody left. It was
Yeah.
over, and then the people that were they were assaulting the AAA arena to get back.
Yeah, I'm that guy. So
It's all good, man.
I'm that guy.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, I remember one time I went to an Ohio State game. They were playing in Tampa, and they were playing South Carolina. They were down by 4 touchdowns. And I left, and I'm like, I'm going to go find a bar, you know, because it's just, you know, you couldn't really get anything to drink, and my tickets were god-awful. And so I'm like, I'm out of here. It's just awful. And I was pulling into a bar. A buddy of mine's like going, you're watching this game, right? I'm like, going, why would I watch the game? He's like, it's tied. I'm like, there's no way. I thought he was messing with me. I ran into the bar. Sure enough, it was like one of the biggest comebacks ever. And then they lost. So I kind of felt good about leaving. Yeah. But, you know, I am that guy. I get it.
My buddy was there for the Bills game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he literally walked in, didn't buy a ticket. Everybody left. It was
Yeah.
what was it, 32-point deficit or something like
You're
that.
talking against the Houston Oilers.
He walked into the game, sat down, and watched the best the biggest comeback in
Right.
NFL history for
Yeah.
nothing.
You know, if you're not like emotionally involved, those guys, those are kind of cool. When you're sitting there going, okay, cool, I could care. But when your team is just getting, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to just sit there and watch the pounding. I've been to, I mean, how many games do you go to and they just continue to get pounded? And you stay to the end going, that was an extra 2 hours of misery I didn't need.
Exactly. They
true.
could come back.
I mean, how often do they ever really come back? Yeah. So the Heat are in. What does it mean? Man, there's a logjam right at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. I think they all got the same record, 6, 7, 8, right? When I checked this morning.
Yeah, they are. They're all tied for the bottom.
Then
which
what
is really
happens?
odd.
I mean, is it possible you wind up with a 3? I mean, is it possible to wind up with a 3-way tie? And if it is,
It relies on the tiebreaker,
Right.
which I'm still totally confused on how the tiebreaker even works. But I mean,
but this
that's
means a
where it
lot.
is.
I'm like, okay, so I'm like, you're trying to figure out, okay, we know the Heat are in, but who does this exactly mean that they're going to play? They're currently, what I read is they're currently the 6th seed. They
Right.
play the Cavs
Yes.
if the season ended today. Like right now, there are no games tonight. But I don't really know how because they got the exact same record
what it comes down to, from what I understand, because I studied this for like 7 hours yesterday just to try to get the gist of it.
You have to. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, there's like quite a few factors in this.
It's harder to understand than the hockey standings at this point when it comes to the tiebreakers.
Oh,
But it comes
that.
But it's a real
like
big deal.
hieroglyphics.
I mean,
It
it
is.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, you ultimately, I mean, how great would it you want Boston, I think. If you want
You
your
know who
best
I
chance
want.
to win,
Yeah, you want the
that's
Cavs.
silly. Yeah, I don't know why you want the
Really
Cavs.
stupid.
Storyline.
Well,
I want the storyline.
What are you, a journalist? Shut up.
Listen.
I know the
No, I'm not a
storyline is you
journalist.
lose.
I know.
So, I'm like, so that's the storyline. All right.
Yeah, the storyline's a loss.
But
Right.
here's what it comes down to for me.
Don't you want to go
It's-
one more?
It's so tantalizing to have the chance
Tantalizing.
at
What was that,
beating
your word of the
LeBron.
day?
I do have one of those sometimes. At beating LeBron and the Cavs in the first round. I believe Miami could actually have a shot at winning that first round series in 6 or 7 games.
They have a shot, yeah, sure. But I mean, is it likely? I mean, to me,
I think we all have shots at being an astronaut too.
yeah, I think you want to try to carve your way through the Celtics first.
I
It's,
think
you know,
I mean, get some playoff ground underneath you. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
exactly. Get that good, and then go on and see if they face up against Toronto. Which, by the way, I think they're tied 2-2 with Toronto this season. So I mean, they would have a chance.
Miami?
Yeah, I think the Heat are 2-2 with the Raptors.
The situation for the tiebreaker is like you went and studied it.
Yes.
It's there's a bunch of different factors. Head-to-head win-loss percentage.
Right.
Yeah.
How many times you played the team and what you've won.
Division
Okay.
record.
There's also
Yeah.
division record is where they sit. They're
Okay.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, where they lie in their own separate divisions.
Okay.
Which does anybody really know the divisions in basketball?
I think they're in the Southeast Division.
This is what I'm saying.
the only
I mean,
one
like,
I know.
never. What has anybody
Yeah, I
ever
mean,
paid
yeah,
besides
it's-
Eastern and
I don't
Western?
even know if that really okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a side note.
And then it's win-loss percentages versus playoff teams in own conference,
Okay.
in other conference, net points.
Well, you know, maybe why
There's
the
a
six-
lot.
Oddly enough, these are kind of the numbers that I thought were weird. Like the Heat do better against better opponents. They don't play that great. You know, I mean, look what they did with Brooklyn the other night, a team that hadn't won in overtime the entire year. And this stat, I think, may be the reason why we're looking at the Heat as the 6th seed right now and not the 8th, even though they got the same record as the 8th seed. The Heat have lost 11 games this season to teams that are at least 10 games under 500.
So annoying.
So they've lost 11 games to god-awful teams, not just bad teams, god-awful teams.
Yeah.
They lose a lot to those teams. And so that's, I guess, why they've got a better record against better opponents. And when they play somebody that's horrible, they can't win.
So maybe they are better off playing the Cavs. I mean, would we say
Why?
that the Cavs are better than the Celtics right now? So they want to play the best team. If the Celtics are the worst team, they might end up losing
Okay.
against them.
All right, that's
See
weird.
how my logic goes?
No, it's yeah.
terrible.
It's,
Yeah, your logic is about as great as your hair gel. The way that it works with three teams tied doesn't happen very often. More than 2 teams tied, there's 4 different factors in the whole thing. I was looking
Okay.
into the originals, but it's super intense, this entire thing. I have no idea how they're actually going to filter all this out, but
Dino, what is a hair product, by the way?
What is wrong with my hair gel?
No, it's super shiny.
I
It's
was
like
just
one of
going to
those-
hit it and move off of it, but
No,
I'm
but
down.
I locked in on it. I'm like, if you're watching right now on YouTube, it's just like, how does it get that? I mean, it's maintaining a hard consistency
Yeah.
and a sheen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like everybody in middle school.
Is that
But not now.
Axe body spray on?
Yeah,
I don't-
in 2001.
know what it is. It's like a llama spit or something that's just
Is it?
gotten in there. It's just clean. It's just
It's really
What-
gross
What
now.
is the okay? What category are we in? Are we in a gel or are we talking?
Is that LA looks?
Because it's
It
almost
is that
like
LA looks.
it's almost like a moose.
It is.
Is it-
Is that a moose?
Are you hiding? Are you the one dude holding out moose?
I almost want you guys to just continue to figure this out.
No, it was so distracting after you mentioned it. I'm like going, yeah, what the hell is going on with Diener's hair product?
Because
Is
he
it
normally wears
shiny?
a hat.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I mean, like you don't normally see the hair regardless.
yeah, but even when he doesn't have that, it's like it's fluffier and it's very shiny and spiked today.
Is that what it is? Is it the shininess that's throwing you off, or is
Is
it
it
spike
fake?
things.
Is that what's going on?
It looks rigid and shiny. I mean, it actually looks dangerous, doesn't it?
You
If
look like a hedgehog
yeah.
That's a good
with
one.
a terrible beard.
So
I will
just,
say
just
this.
give me the category.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it a gel?
It's a gel.
Okay.
It's a gel.
It's like in a round can kind of thing?
It's a round can.
Yeah.
It is. It's one of the big round tubs, actually.
Is it Vaseline?
It's not Vaseline.
Okay, is it kind of like, okay, it's a tub. So is it
It's a
like
tub.
something is like an Econo
So-
size?
Like a Crisco can or something like that?
Is this
Kind of close.
okay. Would you say it's over 85 ounces?
It might-
What'd you get? The double at Costco?
This
Can I
is
get
my
a 5-gallon
special-
bucket of that Crisco, please?
You got to tweet out. I just want to go home, get a photo of that product, and tweet that out later.
I'm going to.
I got to find out what it is.
It's my best kept secret, man. This stuff will just last me for
Oh,
years.
dude, keep it a secret, brother.
Oh no, it's good. I will say this though. I felt like this morning when I put it in, I thought,
Yeah.
you know what, that might have been too much. I think I put in too much by accident.
Well,
I
consensus
think
says
I
it
think-
might be too much.
I think it's just Dawn. Give you the real quick ticket rundown. First 3 games of the Heat's first round playoff series going to
Yep.
be going on sale online Friday, 10 a.m. 8-ticket maximum per purchase. You can get them at American Airlines box office. That begins Monday at 10 a.m. Tickets going on sale Friday at heat.com, Ticketmaster.com, and all Ticketmaster outlets. And then they begin the weekend of April 14th.
So it's the 14th or the 15th. We're not exactly sure
Yeah,
yet.
10 days from now. So not this weekend, the following weekend's when the game's going to start. So we'll see. Final day of the regular season is the 11th. So we had really no idea. It might go all the way to that before we figure out what's
For
happening.
real. And that game is against Toronto too. So
Yeah.
it's a Friday night game against Toronto.
But at the end of the season, you're not really going to have to worry about anything now. I mean, like, they usually don't bring out the big guns at that point in
For
time.
Toronto, right. For Miami, they still might be jockeying
Oh,
for,
no,
for
Miami.
position. Yeah.
Miami definitely. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, you're going to be going against a Toronto that's not going to be worrying about their seeding at this point in time.
All right, coming up here, we're going to be talking a little bit Panthers win. Does that mean anything? Are we going to be talking about Florida Panthers playoffs, or is it just
possibility.
let's end the season as well as we possibly can? Marlins lose, but you still feel good. I do, at least. I'll tell you why on that. And Giancarlo, is he sad now to be in New York? We'll discuss all that coming up next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
Oh, yeah, baby. Welcome to Kevin's Other Show. I'm your host, Kevin. Of course, we got Ricky Bobby in here.
Is that Caven? Is that
Kevin.
Caven?
That's it. That's your alter ego for Kevin's other
Hey.
show.
Borrow your hair gel from Caven over here?
Yeah. And then Diener.
Back.
Hair a-blazing, baby.
That's right.
Yeah, you can listen to 640 AM The Hurricane. You also got us on YouTube and podcast on demand anytime, any place. Your Panthers. Man, it was tight last night. In fact, you got all the way down to the end at the BB&T Center.
Bottom of the circle, throws it in front, and it bounces into the net. No penalty call on that play. Rebound score! Colton Sevier found a loose puck side of the net and chipped it in. All the way in. Score! Roman Josi cuts the lead in half just like that. Keep behind him, they score! Right at the buzzer! The referee signaled it was in. Goaltender interference.
Yeah, that was
about
crazy
that?
last night. It looked like it was tied up right at the end on a goal off Luongo, but apparently there's some interference. I don't know enough about it, didn't see the play, but I mean, did they make the right call when they went back to replay? And
It didn't look like it looked like it was clear, but apparently they said that it was a. I mean, you listened to the whole call from the announcers. They were like, "There's no way they're going to say goaltender interference,"
and they came back and they did, so it was a
they
huge
wound up
call.
doing it.
I could be
Yeah.
like a season-saving call.
Yeah, possibly. I mean,
Yeah.
because those 2 points are really helpful. They're sitting at 90 points right now. They're 4 points behind. I think Philly now, not
What?
even the
Well, how'd that happen?
Devils. But I mean, there's still a lot of jockeying for position for those bottom seeds for the Eastern Conference. So I mean, we'll see where they sit, but they've got They've got 2 games against the Bruins left, which they've split that series.
Yeah.
And the Bruins are number 1 in their division, so it's gonna be a
They're
tough
on a
road for
two-game
them.
skid, though, right? Bruins?
They right now are on a 2-game skid, which is not good. You never want to take somebody on a 2-game skid because you just never know. They're going to be like, we're not going to let this stupid
Because they can't
Panthers
go
beat us."
through, yeah.
Especially someone who's leading the division and leading the division by the amount that they are as well. So I mean, it makes sense that they would, be a hard person to go against, but
Is
who
that,
knows?
Is that tonight
Yeah.
or tomorrow? The game against Boston.
The Bruins game, there's one tonight, and then the
Tonight?
next one is the 8th.
Yeah,
Okay.
tonight's at home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And
Tonight.
then the other
maybe
one, I believe, is away.
Yes, that's the last game of the season. Is a
Yeah.
Sunday at Boston.
Man, no,
Yeah.
I saw a tweet of the crowd last night. No one was showing.
Really?
No one was there. Yeah.
They gave up?
I don't know.
That's pretty much that's Florida fans for you.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
just giving up.
yeah. No one's there. No one's checking
But
out
you know
the
what?
games.
They'll be there if they make it to the playoffs. I'll tell you that right now. Because I'm telling you, the Panthers are a force to be reckoned with because they do play really well against. It's the same type of situation with the Heat, where the Heat play really bad against bad teams and really good against good teams. But the Panthers are pretty more even scale, but they play really well against good teams. So I mean, we'll see. But they blanked the Bruins, who are leading their division, and I mean so we'll
Do you
see
think
what
they got to
happens.
win out to get in? Would you
They
say?
have to. I believe they do have to win out.
So tonight
number-wise
is
to
like
get
a
in.
make or break. So if they lose
Sort of.
tonight, forget about it.
But also, the Flyers could also lose out. But I think the Flyers only have one game. I have to check their schedule.
Yeah, it says they're now 4 points behind Philly for the final wild card spot with one game in hand on the Flyers.
Okay. So then the Flyers have one game left and they have two. So I think if they lose tonight and Philly wins, then it's probably over.
Okay.
The standings with the points are so friggin' confusing. So you're trying to figure
Nobody
it all
knows.
out. But yeah, but it's 2 points for a win, 1
Yeah.
point for an overtime. So I mean, and let's say they wind up taking the Bruins to overtime and winning. That's 3 points. That would put them up over, and they could still have an opportunity. But it's just
Okay.
all types of dumb the way they do the point system.
It is
Yeah.
But
ridiculous.
Luongo is on fire, absolute fire. Stopped 45 of 46. Obviously, they got that one goal in, but 46 shots on goal the entire game, 45 blocks by him. So he's really good. And
Dude's battling. Yeah, they hooked him up to IVs. He's what, 39? Is that what he is?
he's an old man.
Yeah,
I think he
coming
was
up on
born
39.
right there in those rafters.
Yeah.
He's for as old as he is playing out of his mind.
They immediately after the game the other night, they plugged him into IVs, and I think he did like his first. He did back to back, which
because they've been switching off between him and James Reimer.
right. And I guess they're just saying, dude, we need you. So I mean, there's no chance he's at goal tonight, right? It's going to be Reimer tonight.
I'm waiting for the
Has to be.
text from Doug Plagans to see who's starting for
That
tonight.
would be 3 nights in a row then.
Yeah, it seems kind of unrealistic for him to do it because
Yeah.
he's been kind of switching on and off. But it's going to be really fun to see them actually do it. Like I said, I really think that they can do some damage in
Right.
the playoffs.
Him in the net last night. That was the first time in 2 years he's done back-to-back nights.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
Is
even
that
know
right?
that.
There's 0 chance he's in net tonight.
I highly doubt it.
There's no
Unless
way.
they put him out there
There's no
with,
way. It's gotta
with
be
an
Reimer.
IV attached to him. just a bag right next to him
Yeah.
at goal.
That's not gonna
Otherwise,
happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be gonna be a little tough for him to do that. But I mean, hey, James Reimer's also been really good, so we'll see what happens from there. But
It's such a weird thing to say. The Marlins lost last night, and I feel good.
yeah. Why? Why is that?
I just like the way they're playing. I maybe it's part of it's a realization.
how
I felt
many games has it been?
they're
What are they, 3 and 4?
Semantics.
Right
no,
now?
no. They're 2-4.
2 and 4.
They're 2-4, but I think it's really except for 3 of those losses. I like, and I know it's like okay, whoever wants to say moral victories, but I think maybe after
Here we
opening
are,
day, I was so
saying moral
crushed.
victories.
No, I honestly, man, I really, I don't know. I don't know how long this will last. I feel good about this. They took the Red Sox last night, 13 innings.
Yeah.
They're battling, they're scrapping, they're playing hard. You know, just even listening to him talk, they had Cameron Maben, and he said after the loss, after they went 2-4, he said, I just love how competitive we are. He said, it's tough to be on the losing end of tonight, but we played so hard, and these guys are not getting discouraged. They're just coming out with this energy every single night saying, we're going to fight, and we're not going to give up, and they don't, and they're not, and they're going to so many extra inning games. They're staying in games they shouldn't be staying in. Urania was better last night, too. He had 7 strikes out. It was a career high in 7 innings. He did okay. They actually fell apart late. That's kind of what cost him last night. So, you're 2-4. And that was at home. So, yeah, I mean, you go 2-4 at home, and now they got to go on the road. But I don't know. I thought all in all, it was like today, I can't describe it. But, man, I got a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Could it be that
In my
situation where you're just not expecting anything to happen? So if anything does, you're just like, wow, that's really awesome.
Yes and no. I've reset my expectations. As I think every Marlins fan should, and I think you're rooting for different things. You should.
Yeah.
Because that's just smart. But you know what? They're putting in effort and they're playing hard, and you're seeing some good play.
I sure
You
as hell
still
hope
got-
so. They're getting paid for this. This is
Well,
their jobs. Put in
yeah,
some damn effort.
But you see some people, and it's just like, you just don't feel like they're just going through the motions. I don't feel like the Marlins are. They're scrapping. They're saying we're going to give. And they've got 3 key players that are on IR right now that are coming back.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens when you get Real Muto back, and you start putting some of the other pieces in. You got a pitcher, your third baseman, man, get him back on the field. I don't know.
Okay.
You were
I
just
know.
used to-
I got it.
Diener's still tying his noose over here. So I mean,
It's gonna be bad.
you're getting him to tie it a little bit slower. That's basically it.
Well, they're not going to make the playoffs. That's not what the Marlins.
But if you were on
objective
that
is.
team, would you want to be known as that team? Because everybody expects you guys to suck because of everything that's happened. Would you want to fight?
Up and comers, you're building for the future.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
you got,
I like it.
Droopy Dog out there and Starlin Castro. Oh, boy.
Yeah, you know
He's
what?
so
I think
sad.
even Castro. I think Castro. He was. I think I saw last night at one point during the game. I don't know if his batting average changed. He's batting .391.
Really?
Yeah, I told you his stroke looks good, man. Brinson looks good in center. There's a lot of really cool things to watch. It's exciting baseball. I'll give you that. I think it's exciting baseball. I like what I see out of the Marlins so far. So I don't know why, because I'm usually just a pessimistic dick, but I feel great about this right now.
Can we say that?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay.
I say
I'll
it
make
here.
sure.
Yeah, you can say it here. We're good. Yeah. This is a cool little warm fuzzy tonight, too. Quick little programming note. You got a game going on at Marlins Park, even though Marlins are away. They got Stoneman Douglas playing Coral Springs High tonight, which is
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. They're going to let them take over the field tonight and play.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. You got Brinson was Coral Springs High guy. And so, yeah, they're doing a lot of cool stuff with Stoneman Douglas, so I think that's all pretty awesome. One quick thing to mention here, Jose Fernandez's attorney is claiming that Jose Fernandez was framed.
Yeah, this is a wild story.
It is a wild story, yeah. It's all about because, his estate, Jose Fernandez, you've got the 2 guys that died in the boat crash, and Fernandez was drunk and on cocaine, then crashed the boat and took these other 2 guys' lives. Then they're going after the estate of Jose Fernandez. So his attorney's trying to protect that, but he's basically saying his spin on this now, even though Jose Fernandez had a blood alcohol level 0.14.
Yeah.
He had cocaine in his system. He's trying to say that basically somebody slipped it into his drink when he was at that bar.
How can you prove that, though?
And he's also trying to say that the other guy basically had the wheel at the time, and it maybe switched right at the end. So he's trying to, throw some confusion and other things into this thing.
This is the stupidest thing. This is like the whole Aaron Hernandez is gay, and that's the reason why he killed himself thing. Shut up.
I mean, where are they getting it from?
That's
Plot twist? I don't know. He's saying his motivation is he's trying to say that Fernandez had 15 grand in his backpack. Somebody drugged him to try to get it. The 15 grand, why would you have that much cash? It was for a good reason. Is apparently he was going to give the money to Marlins Park employees for their help during the 2016 season. That's why he's saying he had that cash on. Why he had it that night? Because wasn't it like 1 in the morning or something like that?
And he was at a bar before there.
He was at, yeah. So what are you going to go? Take your boat over to somebody's house at 3 in the morning and hey, I'm hammered. And
We want
Yeah.
some
Here you
coke.
go.
We want some coke and some money.
What?
I don't know.
Where is he getting this from?
Yeah.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I don't know. They're throwing that into the mix, so that's some crazy stuff. Yeah. Coming up here, want to talk. We're going to have how many different draft projections, but guess who's apparently coming to the Dolphins again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, we'll get on all that. And also, Von Miller. He's being hammered for something he did off the shore of Miami Beach by PETA. We'll give you the details on that, too, coming up next.
Yep, he's here too. It's Kevin's Other Show, right here on 640 The Hurricane.
So Baker Mayfield now is coming to the Dolphins again.
All
we
right.
go.
Well, at least if you're talking to Todd McShay, his latest projections have got the Dolphins possibly trading up from number 11 to number 6. This is what he think could happen, but I think the one part of this is really only if the Broncos pass on Baker Mayfield with the 5th pick. At that point, the Dolphins would say, okay, we don't want to risk waiting, so we'll trade up, try to get to the 6th pick with the Colts, see if we can't give them something, get Baker Mayfield at 6. Now, I don't know what's going on between 6 through the 10th pick that they think obviously somebody might come up and snag him in there, and I don't know what the draft needs are, and it flips from day to day, so I really stopped paying attention. But that's
really into it, and everything changes. So
that's kind of it. I really stopped. I was like, oh, okay, let me try to remember whatever. And then every day I'm like, whatever happens.
It changes every hour at this point.
It does, yeah. So I'm not really following it, but that's at least McShay saying that if the Broncos pass on Baker Mayfield at 5, then look for the Dolphins to try to move up, to get up in there.
That's what I'm talking about, man. And it's crazy, though. I mean, all kidding aside, it's nuts. I mean, one day we come on here and say, yeah, Dolphins are going to trade up. That's what we're hearing. Next day we come on, no, Jets are going to take them. And it changes back and forth.
That's because
it's wild.
these people have no friggin' clue.
Is it just smoke screens?
They have no clue.
No, they don't know.
But they're getting paid to pretend they do.
Yeah, why is that, by the way? Why does Todd McShay and Mel Kiper and all these guys get paid all this money by these networks?
Soap opera. I mean, that's what we're all doing.
Is that what it is?
I was
soap
saying
opera.
to Kevin that Mel Kiper Jr. He was one of the people that started people watching the draft in the first place. He does really pay attention to it, but the reality of it is he doesn't really know. This is just analytics that he's looking at to say that this is a possibility and this is a possibility. But
sure, you don't know. And the smoke screens that teams throw off, you don't know either.
Exactly.
That's it. A big part of it is, they're trying to make everybody confused
and
as to what they're going to
that's relatively new, though. That's relatively new that they started doing that, really throwing out the Patriots were the ones that really started doing that. They would just throw you off on a different side. All of a sudden, they draft this person or they'd make this trade that nobody was paying attention to.
I mean, I want it to be true. I mean, we made our feelings known here.
I think I do, but even my emotions on Baker Mayfield are kind of flipping and flopping a little bit. Yeah,
You're going back and forth now? Why? What happened?
Well, yesterday.
Yeah.
He started liking the Marlins.
Yeah, I know. I'm all over the place.
Marlins got you all confused.
Yesterday, I was listening to Coward, and he had Rex Ryan on. And Rex was talking a little bit about it. We got that clip over here, Diener. I don't know if we do. I don't see it. But anyway.
It's not in there?
No.
You know what? I'm going to make a last change second here on the fly. That's right. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's all right. It's good. I can recap it real quick.
Recap it?
I'm here right now. Yeah. Basically, had Rex Ryan on yesterday, and Rex Ryan was talking about Baker Mayfield, and he was saying, look, a lot of people are trying to compare him, and it's height-wise, with Drew Brees. And he said, don't make that comparison. He said, Drew Brees, one of the best pocket passers ever in NFL history. Baker Mayfield is not that. Watching the film on him, he doesn't have the same even of what Drew Brees had when he was at Purdue back in college. And he said, then people want to take a look at him and say, okay, well, what about the athleticism? And he was saying he's not a Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's a premier athlete. And I don't see that with Baker Mayfield either. I mean, Rex Ryan was really down on him. And then at the end, he's like, well, but I'm sure somebody will pick him up. So in a sense, Rex Ryan really trashed out on Baker Mayfield. He does not feel the same way that Adam Gase does, who said that basically he and Mayfield have similar personalities. I mean, the bromance is tight and
Now that
real.
scares me.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything is going to push me away from Baker Mayfield, it's Adam Gase gushing about
I felt
him.
the same way. I didn't like that. I don't know why. I'm like, why is it that Gase's emotion for Baker Mayfield is repelling me from this guy? I don't know why.
True.
Just get the hats for him.
But I think it's almost like because, and it tells me internally, I don't have any confidence in Gase. My confidence is gone. And, and I thought a year ago when he came in there, was giving offensive linemen pink slips for effort and everything else. I'm like, love this guy. I was buying into it. At this point, a year later, not even a year later, I've given up and canceled out. I've fallen out of love with Gase.
Yes.
And so when he's kind of endorsing Baker Mayfield as hard as he is, I'm like, maybe I don't like this guy after all.
Right? That's the only thing that kind of pushes me back.
Maybe there's a little bit of romance still left between Rex Ryan and the Jets, and he's just saying that so the Jets don't take him.
Maybe.
I wish I had done my job and put the sound in. I'm really down on myself right now. We worked really hard to find that sound earlier today, and I didn't put it in.
You were putting gel in.
That's what it was.
Damn it, Kevin!
He got to it first.
I was lining up my hair gel joke.
Sorry.
Okay.
Was it along the same lines?
But I mean, yes, we are both on the same wavelength on that one.
Oh, mercy.
But there's a good possibility. I mean, you never know. He may be throwing them off, saying Jets don't do it. Let him go to the Dolphins.
No,
Let him suck at
Are
the
your
Dolphins.
analysts getting in on this game too?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, Rex Ryan is going to be
Rex
in on.
Ryan's a half an analyst. Like he's just
No,
a coach
he's a guy
with no.
that's paid to be on there and tell us
Well,
what
I
we're thinking.
understand
So
that, but he's a coach with no job.
But is he on there with an agenda? I mean, that's what I'm saying. The
never
people,
know.
the talking heads,
The drama.
they're going to have an agenda. Okay, imagine what a scandal that would be.
Exactly.
You find out that an analyst is on the take from a team to throw out a smoke screen so that it helps them in the draft.
Well, no, maybe it's not like he's on the take for the team, but maybe he just like wants to throw that out there so that they're
If you had that, though, wouldn't that be genius?
yeah.
If you say, look, man, I need you to throw out some bogus information so that you make the headline this,
Oh,
that we're
absolutely.
going this direction. Be like, I think this team is going this direction. You throw off 2 other teams who might be taking a guy that we're going to grab, and then all of a sudden,
What do you think sources are?
Conspiracies, I like
but no,
this.
but this is what Adam Schefter lives on. This is like when you hear the stuff about Odell Beckham Jr. being
it's all
traded.
plants, yeah.
Okay, so but who do you think leaked that? You think it was the Rams?
It's usually the agents,
It's,
right?
it's usually either the agents or it's the team themselves.
So these reporters, do they know or do they care they're being used as patsies to throw out misinformation
They
to throw
have to
teams off?
know. You would think they'd know.
I think twice a month when they get their paychecks, they don't give a
Yeah.
flying crap.
Really?
Yeah.
I
So
thought
they
you-
say, I know you're giving me garbage information that's meant to alter somebody else's.
Maybe not saying it's garbage information, but there's if you get a head coach of a team and goes, yeah, we're looking to trade OBJ, and you'll be like, well, here, take it, run with it. Be like, well, he said it.
Are reporters running with what they know to be intentionally fake information?
Listen, we know that journalism is way out of the
Okay,
door
well,
on all
all right.
sides of the spectrum of
And
journalism.
if they got busted, is that completely bad for a journalist? Like, they're done kind of thing, saying, like, you
well, no, because they can
knowingly-
blame it on the source and say
Okay.
the source lied to me.
Okay.
And
But
also-
if they expose the source, that's
Yes.
a different situation.
Okay.
And it really depends on who we're talking about. Like, is Todd McShay, Mel Kiper, are they They're not really journalists, right?
No,
I mean,
no. I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Is Adam Schefter? Adam Schefter's not a journalist. He's more of a
Adam
a
Schefter-
reporter,
Yeah.
investigative reporter.
I don't know what his actual title is. He's a crapster, I guess. He just
He's just
sits there in the NFL pot and
finds things out.
If you're looking right now, Todd McShay saying Baker Mayfield Dolphins, they're going to make a play at him. That's
Right.
where he's going to wind up. Kuiper is looking for the Dolphins, probably going something second or third round quarterback. He still likes Richmond's Kyle Lauletta. He also suggested Western Kentucky's Mike White is a possible second or third rounder. He likes the quarterback from Marshall, Chase Litton.
wait, still no Mason Rudolph in all this?
No,
Where is
not
Mason
at all,
Rudolph?
which I know. I thought that too.
That's surprising.
Yeah, Kuiper's not even talking about either. Like,
Huh.
not. I mean, going way down. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's even talking about the Falk from Washington State.
Wow.
So yeah, not even really
The
on the radar.
Marshall quarterback, really?
Marshall.
Yeah.
The last quarterback from Marshall, Byron Leftwich and Chad Pennington. Those are the last two guys I can think of from Marshall.
Don't they
right?
play FAU twice a year?
They,
Like-
I think twice a year.
They do. Those are the ones you're looking
And
at.
I don't want any quarterback with the last name of White because the last guy we had with that was Pat White. And yeah,
Right.
that did not work out well.
that is racist.
Hey, listen, all right? Don't get
Just
me in
throwing
trouble
that out
here.
there.
He was not a good quarterback.
Well, PETA
Swear.
all over Von Miller. Interesting to see if anything's going to come from this. Apparently, he caught himself a hammerhead shark, tweeted it out, the photo, and then eventually threw the hammerhead back into the ocean. But PETA's filed a complaint with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. They're looking into the incident. So who knows if he broke any laws right now? They don't know. But PETA is not happy with him.
They
flaunting
never
that photo.
happy.
I know. Can't wait to talk about this. The fight between Nick Saban and LeBron James.
Yes.
Who's got the edge on this? We'll discuss next.
Get Kevin's other show whenever the hell you want on YouTube and at 640thehurricane.com.
Man, this could be an epic battle. Nick Saban versus LeBron James.
I feel like they play this song in the background, like when both
This
of
would
them
be the
come out into
soundtrack
the
for
ring.
it. Yeah. Metallica Blitzkrieg. That's what you need. Yeah, because this could be an interesting fight. If you haven't heard what is going on between the two right now, LeBron James, is starting to parlay media projects and looking at, okay,
Yep.
how many years of, 15 in the league, something like that? How many more do I have left? Probably the next 3 to 4. I need to probably start having what else is going to be.
We all knew this was coming, though.
Yeah, we all knew this is coming.
Co-starring in movies and stuff like that.
But one project that he likes, and when you do something on your own platform, you have complete not only creative control, but you're going to be making all the money.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also a chance for him, as you can see, LeBron James every now and then voices himself politically and social issues that are out there. And so he had this little platform called Uninterrupted, and it all started off with a show that he did with Draymond Green from Golden State, where they're just kind of like chilling in a barbershop on this little thing on the platform called The Shop. Then they got a second episode that followed in March where James was talking about his infrequent driving habits, and the filming of content for a third has now been completed. So they've got 3 in the series.
Okay.
So what is going on at the University of Alabama? They've got a barbershop that is there. And Nick Saban has now done a segment with Julio Jones, who used to play for Saban in Alabama before he went on to play for the Falcons. They call it Shop Talk is the name of it.
Clever.
All right.
Yeah. But LeBron doesn't like it because he's like, dude, that's really close to what I've got going on with The Shop. You've got LeBron doing The Shop. You've got Saban doing Shop Talk. And he's saying, hey, we had this first. This is our idea, our concept. And so they basically sent a cease and desist over to the University of Alabama saying, yeah, this is our deal. Now, where this kind of gets interesting is LeBron James never trademarked it. The Shop is not trademarked, but he's established himself as making this an intellectual property claim, saying clearly I came out with this first. It's documented. There's a place it's documented. I've got a date time stamped on it. You took something that's very similar. Mine's The Shop. Yours is Shop Talk, Barbershop. It's the same concept, and here you are raining on my parade, and you're watering down my brand, my product, something I want as a platform. You can't do it. He goes to Nick Saban, instead of backing off saying, oh, yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me anyway. Nick Saban's like, I don't care. Yeah, I respect him. He's a great athlete, but I'm going to keep doing it. I liked it. I did Shop Talk. I'm going to keep doing Shop Talk. I'm not going to change the name, not going to change the barbershop angle, not going to stop anything that I'm doing. And so here begins the war of words. You now kick it over to LeBron James after a game. The press is asking LeBron, here's what Saban said. Saban said basically, stick it, kiss it, I don't care.
I built Uninterrupted for a reason, for us athletes to have a platform to be able to speak about, whatever we want to talk about. And I respect him as a coach, but I'd be damned if I allow someone to, use our platform or try to, do the same thing we're doing and, just think it's okay. So the lawyers will figure it out.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Who you got in this fight? And it's not, it's going to be an attorney fight. I mean, it's not going to be the wills of Nick Saban, because Nick Saban, I'd hate to try to bend his will.
Don't want to do that.
No, I don't see Nick Saban ever bending unless there's...
No. But also LeBron's lawyer against basically the district attorney of Alabama. So, there's no way that Nick Saban's lawyer will be representing the state of Alabama.
That's an interesting call, because you got a question, what would be the jurisdiction of this? I mean, does that fall under the state of Alabama, which I doubt it would cross state lines, I think, because of the platforms and the fact that it's done on a digital platform that would be global.
But I guess who represents it? It's Alabama University. I mean, it's a state university. So is it just a personal case?
Yeah, I went to a couple attorney buddies of mine, and they said this is a real tough case. And so they were like, I'm not comfortable coming on, and because, I'd have to look into it and this and that. So there's going to be a lot of question marks that are up there. And so, we could sit here and throw out whatever we think is right, which will probably have no legal bearing when attorneys don't want to speak on it themselves, and they know a lot more than we do.
That's what we're here for. It's just to spew out BS that nobody else will say.
Yeah.
Well, wait a second. He says that I created this platform where we're
uninterrupted.
Where us as athletes can go out and say whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want. I'm pretty sure that's called the Players Tribune. Isn't he stealing a concept from Mr. Derek Jeter there?
That's not a bad point.
Well, the Players Tribune.
The Players Tribune is articles about the players from the players. That is a whole platform built on the players get to say what they want to say.
There's a difference between, I think when you start talking about the exact concept and the name. The names are very familiar. The Shop Talk. You got the concept of being in the barber shop. And I think that's all the question. I was talking to Diener before we came on here about this. And, one thing you would liken is, okay, you had the TV show Cheers.
Yeah.
Sitting in a bar and people were chatting it up. So you're trying to say people can't ever do a show in a bar where people are just chatting it up? Okay, you could. But let's say you called the show Beers. and you were sitting in a bar and you had a
Sounds like
comical
a great
mailman.
show.
Right. Then you would have, and that's where a judge has to step in and say, look at the similarity. And that might be where LeBron wins this. In fact, I would say LeBron does wind up winning this because the names are too similar. The concept is exact. And, sitting in a barbershop having a chat, like, the movie The Barbershop.
Yeah.
You could say, well, can't they go after LeBron? I think it's still different because different platforms, different names.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, this is the dumbest thing. I mean, like, what, is he afraid that Saban is going to get better ratings than him or something?
Listen, I just love that
LeBron's
LeBron James and Nick Saban are feuding. I think this is great.
Yeah.
It's April now. This gives us something wonderful to talk about that we weren't expecting. I'm all for it. I hope they keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Going.
That is going to do it for our show here at 640 The Hurricane. But if you don't know, we actually do this thing on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, just put in Kevin's Other Show, and you can check it out right there. Also, it's on demand on podcast. And every now and then, too, we give you a little bonus material like we're going to do coming up on both of those platforms. Going to talk a little bit about Tiger Woods. And, man, he went after Phil Mickelson's shirt. How did Phil Mickelson talk about that? You won't hear that on 640 The Hurricane, but you will get it on YouTube and our podcast. All right, y'all. We'll see you later.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Let's start doing this from time to time, giving you a little bonus if you hang around on the YouTube channel or you do
Took
the
me
podcast.
by surprise to tell you that right now.
Now let's go for it.
I just came up with it on the spot. I said, you know what? Here's a revolutionary idea I think we're going to start doing.
I like it. I was going to say, I don't remember having this meeting, but hey, let's do it.
Yeah, it wasn't a meeting. It just happened. Meeting of one in my mind. I said, I really want to talk about the Tiger Woods at the Masters. So
Cool.
We're going to do it. We're going to give you a little bonus
enough.
here. Yes. When we have it, we'll do it. What the hell, man? Why not? This is really the Masters to me. I think is going to be one of the more interesting Masters that you have seen in a while, and it's because of the resurgence of Tiger Woods. And it's not put too much on it. Even he's downplaying it, saying, "All right, hey, I haven't won anything yet," and he hasn't. But there was something that I had heard about him at the Valspar, where I think he finished second, and it's pretty interesting and it's legit. They say that. I didn't even know that this was a stat that they kept, but apparently they do swing speeds.
Really?
Yeah, they do swing speeds.
I didn't know they measured that.
Yeah, they measure that. It's one of the stats that they have. And Tiger's swing speed at the Valspar after his spinal fusion surgery, 129 miles per hour off the fourth tee. That is the fastest recorded swing speed on the PGA Tour this season.
Wow. So he got fixed, is what we're saying.
He got fixed, and there are
good.
some things that are happening now
It's like
with
Rookie of the Year. Like he has that
right.
surgery and all of a
It
sudden.
is. It's like string, and he's like,
Yeah.
the
He's like,
torque is
oh
like,
my God.
there's things that are happening in the world of medicine that are actually making, this might be an interesting thing where they're making athletes, you come back better and stronger. I mean, look at the concept of the Tommy John surgery that a lot of times used to be a career ender, and now, for the most part, some guys come back better than ever from Tommy John surgery.
Do they test for PEDs in golf?
What are you trying to say, Ricky?
I'm just asking.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good question because that definitely does aid in recovery. And I don't know. I think so. I thought there was somebody that had an issue with it. But yeah, Tiger Woods talking about how he feels and his swing, and you might be looking at a dude physically that is where he was circa 2006 and 2007. When he was winning his majors.
The rest of my body's doing fantastic. I feel great. I feel like I've really put a lot of the pieces together. We've worked on what body parts to get stronger, what body parts need to be more limber. I feel fantastic. It's just a matter of now going out there and competing and playing and posting numbers.
Yeah, he's got to do it.
Huh.
He's talking about his recovery, and how would you liken this, Tiger, to your back to where it was to where you are now?
Some of the guys have said I need to fuse my back so I can hit it harder.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to go through that. But that's why I said it is a miracle. I went from a person who really had a hard time getting up, walking around, sitting down, anything, to now swinging the club. You saw it at one of the TrackMans, 129. That is a miracle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you are talking about Bionic Tiger.
I'm going to say, is it a miracle or is it stem cells or some kind of other weird German therapy that he went over there and did?
Advancements in medicine, too. The back surgery used to be, that was it, man. You mess with your back like you were done. You were forever going to have back problems. And I was talking to a buddy of mine that is going in, and it's going to be an outpatient procedure. He's going in for a lunch break, and he's going back to work right afterwards.
That's what they can do now?
That's what they can do. How well they do it. Here's Tiger talking about his swing now.
For some reason, it's come back. I wish I could tell you, I wish I knew, but all of a sudden I have this pop in my body and my speed's back and my timing. I'm hitting speeds that I hit in my prime, but granted, in my prime, I was 43.5-inch steel driver.
Yeah. So,
this is wild.
This is a whole new. I mean, that's why, to me, the conversation with Tiger Woods always was like, "Oh, is he back? Is he back?" And the answer was no, no, no. We went through that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Now, and I said no the whole time. I'm like, guy's done. He's never going to win another major. And now I'm flip-flopping again, man. I'm going to yes. I think I'm believing it.
We've already established you're a gigantic bandwagon fan.
All the time. Flip-flop.
Listen, Ricky,
every day.
Don't be upset just because for the past few weeks I've been saying Tiger Woods is going to win the Masters, and you've been poo-pooing us this entire time.
We'll have the conversation when he wins the Masters. Up until then, it's not like he did, and then I'm sitting here with crap on my face.
No, I can see you're getting scared. Because now you're hearing Tiger Woods. You are hearing Tiger Woods saying that his swing is back.
The question I asked about the drug testing, now I've done some research. And this is actually pretty interesting. John Daly has been on the record saying many a time that the drug testing policy for the PGA Tour is absolute garbage.
Okay.
One thing they don't do is they do not drug test anywhere but the venue, and they don't do blood tests.
Okay,
they
so
only do mouth swabs.
Oh.
But if you don't feel well, you can be able to get out of it. There's a lot of loopholes in the system. It was created in the 2008 anti-doping policy, but the situation was that they wasn't really to catch people. It was to kind of reassure sponsors that there wasn't anybody there. But they made it loose enough that it didn't really make that much of a difference. But everybody has gone on. Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy has gone on to say that they have been to tours where they've never been tested.
Wow. It's a different game. I mean, I do the whole hormone replacement stuff and what they can do with your body and how they can make you look and feel. I mean, you go and you look at the pamphlets at these places, there's no lie. It's 72-year-old dudes, jacked, washboard abs. I'm not even kidding you. And you look and it's weird. It's like this old man face on this jacked 28-year-old's body.
Put some of those hormones in those cheeks, you saggy bastard.
And they're like, their face is, everything's chiseled. It's just, you're like, I guess they're 72, but they look like they're 52.
The Bionic Man.
It's what they're making now, man. I'm telling you. And it's interesting for Tiger Woods, but it's also fascinating for sports because you got to wonder when you got an athlete that cares about their body and the maintenance so much. You even talk about like LeBron James.
Yeah.
What he might get, but he's in a sport where I think they're a lot more stringent on the drug testing. He probably would have limitations but Tiger Woods. But,
yes,
we talked about, okay, well, compare Tiger Woods back to Jack Nicklaus when he won the Masters at what? He was like 46?
46, yeah.
Okay, Tiger 42, so you're like, in 4 years, Tiger completely, there's no way. But now with the medicine, everything that's going on that you didn't have back in the 80s when Jack won the Masters,
right?
Could you see Tiger Woods winning a major at the age of 52 years old? The way he takes care of his body and the resources he now has.
I mean, it's possible. It's just really weird. Like, I never even thought about this fact before. Then now, like, really looking into it, is so many people that are talking about how there is a zero anti-doping policy that is involved in the PGA Tour regardless.
Well,
the CEO of USADA, which is the United States Anti-Doping Agency, says that it has over and again said that he is he doesn't understand why they're so reluctant to perform blood tests.
Right.
Because every other league does it, and that's how they catch everybody.
Well, are you trying to say that that's what's going on here?
Well, I'm saying, but like, you have to ask the question at some point in time.
You get greater performance?
People, I understand that, but people say that about LeBron. You know, they say, like, how did he lose a bunch of weight in such a short amount of time? And that was with Miami.
He's always been a freak,
But
though.
they have
listen,
the
but when
testing
they-
in the NBA, right?
Yeah, but they have to test you. So it's like, okay, but why? And they test them, but you still ask the question. Why is nobody asking the question here when you see that there's a possibility that they could not be being tested?
And I guess it wouldn't be the first time Tiger Woods lied about something, huh?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And he already has a prescription drug problem.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already an addict as it is. And then for him to come back in such a strong fashion like that after being out for so long, I'm not saying he's doing it.
It's either the mastery of the surgery or yes, but even on top of that,
There's a
recovery
possibility.
still, and also too, just maintaining your body. I know. I mean, it gives you an added advantage when you do the hormone replacement stuff, and it will set the clock back 10 to 15 years. Now, because I'm not an athlete and all that kind of stuff, I do whatever I want. You know,
exactly.
I'm doing everything within the legal means. But yeah, if I went to the NBA or the NFL, I would get flagged and I'd get tossed out of the league.
Exactly, but the stringency.
it's unfair. It is unfair.
It is completely unfair. And one of the things they say, like MMA and boxing, those are like the ones that are really big against it because you're putting a weapon in the ring. That's their big thing. It is a weapon when you go into the ring. So now, I mean, in this situation, there's no context. There's no weapon on the NFL field, on the NBA court. It could be used more as that. But here, there's nothing. It's individuals that do this. And so, I mean, it's just funny that nobody's. I haven't heard anybody say it.
NFL, you watch your weapon. NBA, same thing. You've got contact. Golf, you don't have contact. I mean, at this point,
that's what I'm saying.
All you're afraid of is you're hurting the ball. But who cares? So it's like that's it.
But right there,
but do you
it's
care
a
then? Why do we have
advantage.
to test in this? Okay, but then everybody can do it. Why don't you do it?
That's my argument with baseball. I don't understand. 162 games. Let the guys dope. It's not doing anything. We wanted to watch people hit home runs.
That's why it happened before.
Exactly. And that's why they let it go for so long.
Baseball doesn't like it because it throws out all the records that happened 50 years ago.
Yes.
100 years ago.
Yes. But also it's people are different now. Like humans
You're right.
evolve.
Yeah, you go to an old hotel. Like I went to one on St. Pete, and I went to get in the elevator, and like the cutoff was like 5'5", and I'm like, well, what were people like? How tiny were people 100 years ago? And you go to a place like that, and
it's like they took it out of Honduras or something. It's completely unreal because the game has evolved. The people have evolved. I mean, there were baseball players that were smoking cigarettes in the dugouts back in the day.
Yeah, right.
And when I say back in the day, I'm talking the 90s. Okay, like that was not that long.
In the 80s were doing blow and drinking beer. They had a keg. Yeah,
in between innings.
It was very different back then.
Right.
But this is a situation where this is an old sport.
Yeah.
It's an old situation. But the drug. I mean, I'm not coming out here to try and say that he's doping. But why is the question not being asked?
Phil Mickelson talked a little bit about Tiger's play as well. Had some positive words.
I texted him a while ago when he was playing at Valspar that it felt like it was a different time continuum because I found myself pulling so hard for him. It was unusual, and I find that I want him to play well, and I'm excited to see him play so well, and he is playing well.
I think part of it too, the excitement. Not only it's weird to see these guys because I mean they really used to not like each other.
I was going to say, do they like each other now?
They do. They're all
the greatest
chummy.
golf rivalries too.
Huh.
Yeah, one of the best. It was funny. I was watching the clip the other day. Did you see the one where Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods were teeing off together? And they were giving a rundown of all of Tiger Woods' majors wins and all that kind of stuff. And Mickelson's like, "We get it already.
We got it.
We got it.
Understood.
Thanks. Yeah, can we finally tee off here?" Yeah, in fact, Tiger Woods was ribbing him about having a button-up shirt and saying, yeah, he should have had a tie. And he was kind of like ripping on him. Tiger Woods in great spirits. I think for Mickelson, too, because Tiger made a comment, said, look, we both realize we're on the back end of our career. So for Phil, seeing Tiger, he's probably like, well, maybe there's hope that I might be able to compete as long as he is.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tiger, what are you taking again?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I can only do commercials for the stuff I'm taking.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. Right.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so Thursday's when it all gets underway. So that's why a lot of people looking forward to the Masters. All right, there we go. We're finally out of this thing. That's why
I didn't put a timer on. I didn't know how long we were doing
Yeah.
this.
Do I
so
play
just
anything?
figured.
Like, do we have like a closing I should play after this? I don't know how this works.
Take us out with some. Give us something hard, baby.
Yeah?
Give us.
All right, let's do it. We'll go
give
back
us
to
something
Metallica.
hard, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, hold on.
Ricky Jam,
Ricky's
I'll
got
talk
one.
a little bit about what we
There
got
it is.
Here. Yeah. Oh God.
You should have seen his face on Friday when I played this.
So
he's like, we gotta
I'm like,
stop with the song.
There has to be a ban on this. There has to be a ban on this. Come on, man.
It's a perfect choice.
Yeah.
I literally slapped his hand out of the way. I'm
did.
like, we are playing Sandstorm.
I was about to play Blitzkrieg again. No, he just smacked my hand.
All right, well, we do want you to listen to 640 The Hurricane, but remember, man, we'll probably start kicking you some bonus material on the YouTube and the podcast. Download it and make sure you go follow us, too, on Twitter. We got some fun stuff, including what I think is the best Team Marlins jersey you can buy. Oh. It is up on Kevin's Other Show on Twitter. Funny, go check it out at Kevin's Other Show. Later.